Welcome back to ESA Summer 21. We are raising money for Save the Children. Links to donate can be found below the stream. We would also like to thank Twitch and ViewSonic for sponsoring this event. Now, it's time for ShikenNuggets running Batman Arkham City Any Percent on PC. Take it away.
Hello. We're just going to jump right into it here because this game has a bit of an intro. So the time will start in 3, 2... Actually, hang on a second. Sorry. Gotta make sure I can actually skip the cutscene. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so I'm Shiken, and commentating with me I have the Radiator.
Hello.
Say hi, Radiator.
Hey,
there you go.
I'm the Radiator.
Yeah, so this is Hugo. Dr. Hugo Strange. No relation to Dr. Stephen Strange. So basically what happened in the last game in this series, Batman Arkham Asylum, is all the criminals broke out of Arkham Asylum. Chaos ensues. They kind of trash the place. Everyone sort of collectively agrees that the asylum isn't really working anymore. So this guy has the brilliant idea. Why don't we just like wall off part of the city and turn that into a prison? And I mean, I see no problem with that personally. That sounds great. But your boy Batman isn't so convinced. So he is infiltrating this prison undercover to see if he can figure out what's going on in here. So as you can see, this infiltration is going off without a hitch. Perfect. All according to plan. So I guess I'll talk about the speed run a little bit. So first thing you may have noticed, the game is not in English. It is in Spanish, because the Spanish dialogue is about 12 seconds faster than English dialogue for this category. So that's convenient. As mentioned, we're playing on the PC version. The PC version is ideal for speedrunning because faster load times and stuff, but also we can use mouse and keyboard, which is very useful at various points. And I'll also be switching from the mouse and keyboard controls to my controller at various points throughout the run, because some things work better on keyboard, other things work better on controller. So optimally, you just kind of have to switch around a bunch. This is Deadshot, by the way. A lot of people don't realize that when they first play this game. These guards are kind of mean, but I mean, this is pretty standard prison stuff, I think. So, not too worried about it. So once we get through this little room, we'll have the first, like, little trick of the run. Just a little taste of what we can do. Basically, there's a little fight, and, like, there's 3 dudes. You're supposed to hit one of them and counter 3 of them. You can interrupt the animation of countering by hitting caps lock and going into a crouch state, but since Bruce Wayne cannot crouch while he's handcuffed, he just doesn't crouch. And then when you try to counter, it just does the counter without him doing anything. So you'll see what I mean in a second here. Ugh, poor guy gets tackled. So I'll hit that guy, and then we'll hit caps lock. Whoops, I messed it up. Press caps lock way too late. There we go. Just like that. We don't do it on the last guy because that kind of messes up the whole encounter. Our efforts to save this guy are going to be foiled by Penguin over here. The prison's sort of run by 3 major gangs. There's Penguin's gang, there's Two-Face's gang, and of course the Joker. So first we're going to deal with Penguin. And we're going to get the first skip of the run coming up here. It's called Intro Fight Skip, where we're going to skip the little fight we have to do here. It's one of the hardest things in the entire game, and it only saves like 10 seconds, so I'm just going to try it like twice. If it works, great. If not, then, oh well, we'll just do the fight. First, we gotta go through this little quick time event, where Penguin pretends to be tough or something. Which is highly ineffective. And we're just gonna go ahead and knock him out so he's not a problem anymore. And also so we're facing this way, so ideally we get these counter animations from behind, which are a little faster. Alright, so now we do intro fight skip, so try to run over here. We're gonna precisely dive over into the corner here. Did not work, so we're gonna try it again. Whoop. Alright. Gotta kite the guys away from it. Whoop. I'm gonna try it one more time.
It's very convenient that this is the first skip of the game, and it's also one of the hardest ones.
Yeah. Gonna reset all the time. and all you have to do is watch 300 cutscenes again. But that wasn't really the right way to do that fight, but it worked out. We can try it one more time here while we wait for the dialogue. Nope. Alright. That's how it is. Now we'll just do this little parkour segment the old-fashioned way. Some dialogue here with Alfred. Normally this wouldn't play if you got intro fight skip, but since we didn't get it, we gotta sit through it a little bit. Another thing I can mention, I have skipping dialogue, among other things, bound to the mouse wheel, which is very convenient. I've got the old G502 for the maximum dialogue skip speed. Nice, got that slide. Sometimes that slide, he like decides to hang off the edge of the building for literally no reason. So it's cool when that doesn't happen. Alright, getting a little care package here. As you can probably guess, it is the bat suit. So we're kind of giving up on the whole like undercover thing. We're just gonna do this the old-fashioned way. Just beat up everybody and learn what we can.
That is the best way to learn stuff,
of course.
I have to admit.
But first, we have to sit through some dialogue. So if there are any donations or anything, now would be a perfect time to go through some of those.
Absolutely. I have a wonderful $6 donation here from 30 Puns who says, "Hey Shiken, good luck." I've got a $50 donation here from Jack of Barbs that says, "Greetings from Canada. Hope everyone's having a good time during ESA Summer 2021. I know I am. Also, Atlantis does not exist."
Interesting. Atlantis actually does exist in this universe. So that's a curious choice. Probably got time for one more.
And one more I do have. Here is $109.19 from Lilat R107. As promised, here's 10% of the funds raised during Star Fox 64. Huge shoutouts to Adam. What an incredible run. I'm always astonished by our incredible Hit 64 community and the generosity of the community as a whole. Donation goes towards naming Chimchar Bidoof because he's the ultimate HM homie.
Alright, so as you can see, we're doing a little Spider-Man style, like swinging off of things. That's pretty much what we're going to be doing everywhere. And also, we're going to do another glitch here where I interrupt everything by quick-firing the Batclaw, and it gets a little silly. So that's dive rolling. You'll see a little more of that later. And you can also do ground takedown cancels, so you can just like end every fight pretty quickly. Whoops, did not mean to counter there. So just set up the ground takedown, start mashing quick-fire Batclaw, and just ends it instantly, but still takes out the guy. Whoops, come on. Alright, no big deal. Hey, Two-Face. Oh, uh-oh. Okay, actually, everything's fine, because it's Batman. It's fine. Why did you ever doubt that? But during the cutscene we just skipped, Joker did something. I don't remember what, so we're just gonna go find him. Using this, like, magic technology called Detective Vision. Way out of here. So we're going to the church. There is a small little group of thugs right outside the church, but if we land behind them just right, we can actually skip the fight. So, swing off this water tower. Try to land back here. Spam mouse wheel open door, very nice. That is harder than it looks, but also not that hard. Here's Harley Quinn. If you're not familiar, she is Joker's girlfriend. So obviously Joker's here somewhere, because she's here. These guys have guns, and guns are dangerous, so we gotta wait a little bit for her to finish whatever she's doing. Got time for a couple more donations.
Actually, I'll take a moment here real quick just to remind everybody of some of the amazing prizes we have for this event here, including the grand prize, which is a PlayStation 5 plus Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. That requires a $50 minimum donation, but remember that all donations are cumulative through the event, so if you donate $50 throughout the week, you're entered for that. We also have amazing ViewSonic monitors, which are a minimum donation of $35. An amazing This Is the Run controller, which is a minimum donation of $30. And a personal favorite on this page here is a minimum donation of $10 for a Bomberman Perler bead sprite. Big fan of that one.
Alright, so as I said, guns are dangerous, so we're gonna disappear here. Cool, we have successfully disappeared. We have to disappear again, though. Okay, we've disappeared again. There we go. That's how you take out those guys. Over here, do a fancy little great takedown. Here, there's a dude in the confessional here. I'm gonna take him out. And I'm gonna grab a Riddler trophy here. I normally wouldn't grab this one, but in no resets I like to grab them for just a little extra experience. So we're safer for upgrades and stuff. Alright, now we make our way up to the bell tower, where Joker probably is. Grab another trophy here, because it's like right there, basically free. Unfortunately, Joker is not up here. We're going to interact with the thing there to, what do you call that? The trapdoor to trigger some dialogue, which is faster than the dialogue you normally get. Now Joker is going to like taunt us or whatever. Little does he know, we actually are currently tracking his location, so this is helping us, kind of. Also bombed this whole building, which is not great, but we're just going to wait it out. Also, I'm going to try to save some birds, because there are some birds hanging out here. Alright. I did my best. Alright. Now we make our way over to the steel mill where Joker's hanging out. Do more of these swinging style. Grappling everywhere. There is an upgrade that you could get right now called the Grapple Boost, where basically you can just like launch off of things. But getting it takes... What was the math? I think getting it takes 3 minutes, but it only saves 2, so in any percent, it's unfortunately not worth getting, even though it's way more fun to have it. So we gotta go skip that. A little more precise gliding here. Swing off of this lamppost. Well, that was a pretty good glide path. And naturally, the best way to enter the steel mill is through the main chimney. I don't know how else you'd enter a steel mill, frankly.
Yeah, no clue.
Yeah. Even though it's full of lava, like that's not really a problem. Especially because we can do lava skip. Got another skip coming up here. Things are getting real exciting. So basically, as you can see, we're supposed to sort of go around the ring of this thing to avoid lava, but actually we're not going to do that anymore. So as soon as this thing cools off, we're going to hang off of it. Whoop, excuse me. Hang off of it, drop, bounce here, glide over here, bounce here, and just go all the way across. Very nice. That saves like 4 seconds, but loses like 40 if you screw it up, so... Very, very worth it. I'm gonna make our way through these vents. Unfortunately, there's this fire we have to wait for, but it also doesn't really matter. We're playing on easy, so the fire can hurt us, but like not really. Batman's basically invincible on easy, which is very convenient. Some bad things are happening out there, but we'll save that doctor. Her name is Stacy. We'll save her in a bit. Turn off some steam pipes here. And we got the first big fight of the run. So in this fight, I'm going to start it off by just kicking that guy and doing a ground takedown cancel, but then I'm going to deliberately do it a little slowly. Whoops. So I'm trying to alternate between punching and throwing batarangs to maximize my combo, because there are physical challenges that give you a little extra experience. So I'm trying to get a 20 combo. There we go. Now I've done that, I'm basically just going to throw batarangs at everyone until the fight's over. Cool, that went pretty well. A little bit of dialogue to skip. You can interrupt the animation of opening doors fun fact, but it's literally frame perfect, so probably won't get it. Yeah, no. That's okay. We'll do more of that later when we have a different gadget that makes it not frame perfect. Alright, so we're gonna do a ground takedown cancel on this guy. Those guys are kind of dumb, so they kind of just forget that I'm there. And gives you the perfect opportunity to just run up behind them and do a double takedown. I'm gonna pull this grate down for later, because it's faster to pull it down here than to push it down from inside. Alright, and this is the first real Predator room. So, there's a guy right here. We'll do a knockout smash. Battering that guy to the ground. Ground takedown cancel. Pull that guy over the railing with the Batclaw. Whoops, that's not ideal. There's going to be a lot of pulling guys over railings with the Batclaw. It's pretty overpowered. Right. That's how you finish that room. Okay, and now we have the wreck. The remote electric charge. So this is by far the most broken gadget in the entire game. It lets us do a lot of nonsense. So, we'll see in a moment. We're going to place gel on the ground here. This will alert this group of enemies so that a little tutorial doesn't play teaching you how to use the wreck. And then once you've done that, you can just run away, because they don't really know how to chase you. Or maybe they just don't want to, which is understandable. Hit that for a little extra experience, even though I probably don't need it. Oh yeah, I can interrupt the animation of opening doors, which is kind of big. The other thing I can do is I can get something called wreck storage. So first we need to hit this crane. So I'm going to do a weird animation cancel here to get standing wreck storage. And then what I can do is I can activate a standing state from anywhere. So I can interrupt that and then climb up. That skips a cutscene that triggers a fight. So that's pretty nice. Now we unfortunately have a very long unskippable cutscene, so if there are any other donations or anything to be read, now is once again the perfect time for it.
And the perfect donation indeed. Here is $28.59 exactly from AdamX03152331, because I'm going to read it all. It says, "Thank you, ESA, for allowing me to showcase Star Fox 64. As promised, here's my donation that represents my score I achieved during the run. Good luck to remaining runners. Oh, and don't forget, when in doubt, do a barrel roll." I think they did that one tolerably.
I wonder if Batman can do a barrel roll.
He probably
I'd
can.
love to see it.
He just chooses not to.
Yeah.
So what's happening in this cutscene is like important story stuff or whatever. I guess Joker is like dying of something that he did to himself in the last game, and he's not happy about that, so he's decided to inflict his suffering on everyone else, including Batman. So he has injected Batman with his own blood to give him the disease that he's forced to try to find a cure for it, which is pretty clever, but also very Joker in the sense that it's really messed up and not clown-like at all. So that's our primary goal at this point, is to come up with a cure, even though we're supposed to be like figuring out what's going on in this prison or whatever. But you know what? I'm sure everything's fine. Like everything seems above board around here. I don't think there are any problems. Like some of the thugs have guns, but like, you know, that just happens sometimes. What can you do? Birds are fun. Cool. Yeah, the PC port of this game is not perfect. Sometimes you can, if you're playing in windowed mode, you can like click out of the game. It's really cool. So I like deliberately tabbed out there and tabbed back in to try to prevent that from being a problem. Whoa, that was interesting. We're swinging off of stuff. Another fun thing with the wreck, you can basically shoot the wreck twice at the same time by quick firing it and manually shooting it. So we're going to do that here, which will help us get a physical challenge and open the door. Just like that. Useful. There are some penguin thugs here for some reason. So the reason we came to GCPD is because Mr. Freeze is here, and you know, he's like the smartest guy ever or whatever, so we'll see if he can help us make the cure. Hopefully he's still here with all these penguin thugs around. Got another Predator room here, so this one's going to be pretty straightforward. We're just going to run right in, take this guy out with a ground takedown cancel, chuck a smoke grenade at these group of guys so they leave me alone while I wipe them out. And then this last guy just gives up because he knows he can't win. Alright, and as we make our way out of here, Radiator, can you explain what a zip is and how to do them?
So a zip is basically a very convenient thing we use in the speedrun where we cancel an animation of something and then we use said zip to launch us towards the origin of the map. Obviously very convenient for certain points. Here we're going to utilize it right as we exit GZPD by canceling the animation of aiming a batarang, or more specifically an RC batarang. And then we basically, because we cancel the animation, the game no longer has a reference point of where we are. So it sends us to the origin of the map, which is very conveniently towards where we need to go. And
That's really bad.
And we did it on the RC batarang too, because as long as we don't use the RC batarang, it will store the state on it, basically. So we can use that later when we need it.
Alright, so right now, I'm going to try to get this group of guys to see me here. Unfortunately, they are completely blind, so they did not. So this fight's going to be a little slow, but that's okay. More ground takedown cancels everywhere, of course. Gotta wait a little bit for people to actually get over here, though. Cool. Sometimes that batarang doesn't actually take out that last guy, so I'm always happy when it actually does. We'll hit a camera here while we're waiting. Although I have more than enough XP now, as I can see. I already have the second upgrade point I need. So, take these guys out before they even realize what's going on. And now we'll just hack this thing to let us into the museum, and everything will be fine, right? That was really slow. Wrong. Actually, Penguin has done something to our communications, so that's preventing us from hacking stuff. He set up these jammers that we now gotta go destroy. Fun fact, you can actually skip destroying the jammers, but if you do, the game softlocks later, so that's no fun. We gotta actually do it in this category. So first jammer, we're gonna make our way up here, and as I grapple up here, I'm going to buy the multi-ground takedown upgrade, as well as Bat Swarm, which is just a prerequisite, but we're not really gonna use it. So what multi-ground takedown lets us do is it lets you ground take down multiple people at the same time, hence the name. So ideally, yeah, that's pretty much everybody, and then you're just battering that guy. Just like doors, you can use the wreck to interrupt destroying those jammers. I'm going to try a weird zip here that probably won't work. Oh, it did work, nice. That's very close to the second jammer. This one has guys with guns, but we can just ignore them. They don't really matter. Here's another weird zip that probably won't work. Nice. Now we're out of bounds. So the last jammer is actually underground. So we're going to make our way to the subway. To get the subway to actually load, we have to hit the load trigger for it. So I'm just going to hit here, bounce off, just glide under this thing. Grapple up here. Then we're going to do something called a wreck jump, where you interrupt the animation of dive rolling off a ledge with the wreck, and it just launches you up into the air. Very useful. Then in this area, there's another group of guys with guns, and once again, we're just going to pretend they don't exist, and usually it works out. They're kind of bad at aiming and a little clueless. Smoke grenades, just so they like leave us alone. Then railing here, and do one final zip in that chain. I might have dive bombed a little too long. Uh-oh. Okay, can I recover this? Okay, cool. close. Alright, so now to get the overworld to load back in, we have to hit the load trigger again. And grapple back in bounds. And now there's a group of guys outside the museum. We're going to try to skip them. Same idea as like the church fight skip earlier, just like land behind them. Try to interact with the door before they see you. Having a little bit of trouble with this one lately. Oh, and I nailed it. Cool. That was actually probably a pretty good jammer split, even with the mishap. Alright, so now we can hack this thing freely. And now we are going to do the first major skip of the run, which is Dino Skip. Radiator, you can go ahead and explain what's going on here.
Yeah, okay, so, this is, like he said, called Dino Skip. Very conveniently, because there's a big dinosaur in the museum. We're gonna grab corner storage on the RC Batarang and regular Batarang, and then we're gonna head over to this door over here. And we're gonna cancel it, but instead of walking through the door, we're gonna go backwards again, which deloads the area that we were just in. All the geometry is still there, but the area is just deloaded. And now we're gonna, set up a very precise zip over here, and we're gonna do a very precise glide too, where we avoid invisible geometry and also invisible, obviously invisible load triggers. We do this because we basically skip the entire museum except a few small parts, and yeah, it's just generally very easy. If there are two different ways you can do this. There is a 1-zip and a 2-zip, and this is called 1-zip.
Not sure where I am. Everything's fine.
Alright.
Alright, now we got Gel Warp as well, which you can also explain. It's one of the hardest things in the game, so I gotta concentrate.
Yeah, so, Gel Warp. We do this only once in the run, and this is only because we are skipping a mini-boss, Mr. Sickle. So if you place the gel normally, it triggers a cutscene and then a mini-boss. Instead, we do Gel Warp, where we place a quickfire gel and blow it up. What it does is the game memorizes where the gel was placed, so then when we fire wreck like that, it warps onto the wall when trying to get back to the memorized spot, and you can just blow up the wall.
I was having a lot of trouble with that lately, so really happy about getting that first try. Alright, now we buy the range upgrade for the hacking device, because since we came in here the unintended way, we kind of can't get out the intended way unless we have that upgrade. So we gotta hack this thing from the wrong side of the bars. Now we'll do a little more dive roll canceling through this hallway, if I can. It's really hard to do these optimally, because you're just like mashing buttons and hoping for the best, basically. Another wreck jump, gliding across here. So there's going to be a predator room in here. At the beginning of the predator room, there's supposed to be like a little tutorial where it like explains to you that there's a dude that can like see you on gargoyles or whatever. We don't really care about that. We're not even going to use the gargoyles, so we're just going to interrupt the door, kind of sneak through here, and try not to look at him. Cool. Should be good now. Do a double takedown here. Everyone gets a little confused. For some reason that guy's going that way. And we can yank this guy with the Batclaw, as usual. Ah, he didn't go over. I never know how to back this up. There we go. I guess I should have done it the old way. This is fine. Oh, that guy's... what? Okay. Got a little confused there, but we're good. While we wait for the, these undercover cops to realize that they've been saved, we'll just hit a few extra XP items. Alright, so... I guess there's like a story going on or whatever. Mr. Freeze was taken hostage, and Penguin now has Mr. Freeze's ice gun, so we just got something that lets us turn off his ice gun. Can I? There we go. We're gonna go confront Penguin now. More dive roll cancels. One final wreck jump in here. So there's this like weird circular room. Optimally, you would do dive roll cancels through here. I'm gonna try them, but it never really works out. Oh, it actually did. Then you gotta slide to avoid these ice beams. But Penguin's pretty confident, so he's just gonna let us walk right up to him, which gives us the perfect opportunity to whack him here. So that's like 2 major supervillains taken care of in the city that are running gangs. But he's got a little surprise up his sleeve. This is Solomon Grundy. He's a zombie or something. I don't really know, but we're gonna kill him. And yes, I do mean kill, as in the like Batman doesn't kill, but he kills this guy. So basically you just place gel on these little generator things. That stops him from healing, and then you can punch him. Fun fact, there's a little cutscene that plays here, but it's kind of long, so we're just going to reload checkpoint. And fortunately, the game just knows that we're in the next cycle, so we can start right away. Ideally, we can one-cycle this. Very nice. That was very clean. There's a little bit of luck involved with that, because he can, before the game actually loads, he can like jump on you and hit you with stuff, and some of his attacks are just like really mean and don't allow you to do anything. So a fun fact about standing rec storage that we used in the steel mill earlier, you can use it to interrupt just about anything. Not sure what Grundy thinks he's doing here, but that's okay. Force our way out here. One final phase. So this one's kind of tricky because the generators are always on. So you have to hit the edges of them. Also a fun fact about these generators. Whoops. Alright, that's not optimal. If you're playing on hard, the hitboxes for them are actually like harder. Like they're less forgiving. You have to put the gel closer to the actual generator. I assume that's intended, but it seems kind of weird, so I honestly have no idea. Alright, so now it's time to kill Grundy. But don't worry, because he's, like I said, he's a zombie, so he's already dead or something. I don't know. Or he never dies. I don't know. We're just gonna reload and pretend that didn't happen, though. Now, deal with Penguin. So we're just gonna triple stun him, and that'll finish him off here. Alright, now we have a fairly interesting part of the run. So if you haven't seen an Arkham City run in the last, like, 3 weeks, you might be a little confused about what I'm doing here, but it will all make sense later. Scan this thing to be able to leave. And grab some corner storage for zips. There. I guess I might as well just explain it. So, I found a new major skip in this game like 3 weeks ago, but it requires the Tightrope Upgrade, and in the traditional any % route, you don't get the Tightrope Upgrade, and not just you don't buy it, like you literally do not have the option to buy it. So to get that upgrade, we gotta do a little detour here, so we're just gonna zip out of bounds. Whoop. Can I recover this? That's one. Oh boy. Well, that's never happened before. Classic. Unfortunately, that kind of sucks. When you reload checkpoint, you lose storage, so I have to go back and get more. Probably have time for a donation or two while I set this up again.
Then here's a good donation. It is a $5 from Anonymous, and let me clear it proper here. ESA! I like that one a lot.
That was good. Try this again. Okay. So, just like before, load up the subway here. Whoop. That was way too high. Alright. Not the worst thing that could have happened. We'll just play this safe. We're going to pretty much the same place where we destroyed that jammer earlier, so this should all look very familiar. just the last little bit that'll be different. So, fly through here, line myself up with this heart on the wall, then do another zip. Cool. Now hacking this thing is what gives you the ability to buy the Tightrope Upgrade. We're not actually going to buy the Tightrope Upgrade yet, though. There's some Joker teeth over there we can hit for some free experience. Now we make our way towards the underground. We're supposed to be like following some ninja or something. I don't really remember what the plot is at this point. But we already know where the ninja's going, so we don't actually have to follow her. So down here, there's a bunch of dudes over there. Normally you'd have to like fight them, but that's kind of slow. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to go above them. There's this weak ceiling. We're going to place some explosive gel here. And that just takes care of all of them. Fun fact, if you cancel this door, the game gets a little confused. Of course, it doesn't happen in the marathon. I have to reload checkpoint there because something breaks later if you don't. We don't really know why. So here's a Predator room. We're just going to knock that guy clean off the ledge. Ground takedown cancel, into Batclaw slam, into ground takedown cancel, into Batclaw slam, into ground takedown cancel. And then there's just this dude here. We'll just wait for him and then yank him over the ledge. Very clean Predator. We got some storage here. I should note, I'm getting storage on the RC battering and the regular battering when I do this. That is important for later. I'm going to use the battering storage like basically right away, but I want to keep the remote control battering storage until much later in the run. Like a good, probably 10 minutes from now. Alright, so now we have Dead Parent Skip. The name comes from, there's a cutscene where you see your dead parents. Nobody wants to see that. We're just gonna skip it. This is not optimal. That's okay. So, same idea as Dino Skip, kind of. We unload the current room. This one's a little weird, though, because it puts you in this first-person perspective. So we just gotta go through the door and then go through it again. And then everything will be as we want. We're just gonna leapfrog over the loaded area to the next room. This somewhat precise glide over this area. Dive bomb. Hit the head on the ceiling here. Dive bomb again, and then we should be able to climb up right here. And then we'll interrupt the animation of opening this manhole, which is the same idea as a door, except it's a little trickier because it's like on the ground and you have to be like technically crouching during it. Wow, okay. Fourth try is not great. So this door is closed. It's supposed to be open, but since we didn't see our dead parents, it never opened. So we gotta improvise a little bit, do some parkour. Whoop. Make our way out of here. Bounce off this. This is totally not out of bounds, in case anyone's wondering. Cool. And we just line launch over here to victory. Ideally, don't bounce off a tree or anything. Oh, I just missed the cutscene trigger. That's okay. So this is Talia Al Ghul. She is Ra's al Ghul's daughter. Spoiler alert, Ra's al Ghul is in this game. We're actually trying to find him, I guess. Because maybe he can help us make the cure for the Joker thing or whatever. But we're kind of dying right now, so we need to... a little pick-me-up here. We're just gonna wait for, we just gotta walk down to this area where the trials will start. Because Batman has actually told Talia that he wants to lead the League of Assassins. You know, assassins, like people that kill people. A little weird, but she kind of just goes with it. So, guess that worked out pretty well. Well, Batman, Master of Deception. We're gonna buy some upgrades here that will be important. Critical strikes means we do more damage and our combo increases faster. And special combo boost means that we can do the multi-ground takedown after we get to a 5 combo instead of an 8 combo. So those will help out combat quite a bit. And now we just make our way through these trials. It's just a bunch of gliding puzzles, basically. Not too exciting, but also kind of scary because if you touch anything while you're gliding, you die. And if you die, you lose storage, so you have to do a slower strat later. It's not as bad as it used to be, because there's a new backup that we found using the Tightrope Upgrade that we now get. But what we used to have to do is like this, we basically did the parkour again, and then a bunch of other nonsense. So thankfully we don't have to do that, but still ideally we can keep our storage throughout all these gliding puzzles. So while we're going through this, probably have time for more donations or announcements or anything.
Then I'm going to take this moment to remind everyone here about exactly what we're raising money for, and that's Save the Children. I want you all to understand that every dollar here matters. Every single dollar is very important. When you give to Save the Children, 87% of every dollar goes straight to their mission, changing the lives of millions of children around the world. A singular dollar can provide a child with treatment against diarrhea, which is one of the top killers of children under the age of 5 globally, or help treat 4 children against pneumonia, the single largest cause of death in children worldwide. $5 can provide education supplies for one child, giving him or her the tools they need to continue their education. Thank you all for your donations. It's extremely important what we're doing here. We would not be able to do it without you all.
So as you saw, I did that ninja fight pretty fast. You can just knock them off the platform, and that counts as dealing with them. So just blow the guy up with some gel after hitting him. We'll do that again coming up here soon after this pillar. There's a fight on the next pillar. There's probably like an optimal time to glide off of these, but I always just kind of wing it, and it usually works out. Because, I mean, you're just waiting for his dialogue the whole time anyway, so I've gathered that it doesn't really matter. As long as you're able to grapple the next platform once he gets there. Pretty much good. Yeah, like that was perfectly fine. So, place more gel. That's fine. Do that. So we're gonna juggle between 2 people, ideally, so that you can take them out. There we go. Because when you hit the last guy in a fight, it always takes 1 hit. Usually, it's supposed to take 1 hit. Sometimes it breaks, but yeah, even if you haven't hit a guy at all, if he's the last guy in the fight, he'll usually go down in 1 hit. Oh, okay. Cut that a little close, but it turned out okay. If you touch that too early, you die, so definitely don't want to do that. Right, now that we're through the trials, we will be starting the second boss fight of the game. 2 out of 4 in the main story. Yeah. They're like weirdly spaced out, so I forget how many there are, because like the first one is until halfway through the game, and then there's like basically 3 back-to-back, and then the final boss. So Ra's al Ghul is upset that we actually don't want to be an assassin, so he's trying to kill us. But that's okay, because even though we're like super hallucinating, everything will be fine, because I am Batman. He's gonna try to charge at me, and we'll just casually dive out of the way. Hit these guys with batarangs, which takes them out in 1 hit. It's pretty good. Now that phase done, he's gonna pop out of the ground, so I'm gonna stand as close as possible so he doesn't push me very far, and then I'm gonna pull out standing wreck storage so he doesn't push me at all, basically, and I can run straight to his next position. And then we're just gonna spam wreck shots on him. Nice, that was pretty fast. A little bit of a quick time event here. Fun fact about this cutscene, on the Wii U version specifically, you can break out of this using standing wreck storage. I have no idea why it only works on Wii U though, it's very strange. Talia's just being angry and being like, dude, cut my dad's head off already. But you don't want to because, you know, you're Batman. And there's like conflict or whatever. So a bunch of dudes are going to jump out on me at the same time, but I'm just going to spam the mouse wheel, which is bound to counter, and that'll just take care of all of them at the same time. And now I'm free to just wreck everybody. Ugh, that was almost really good. Alright, same idea as before, stand as close as possible. Pull out the standing wreck storage. And then just spam wreck to win. Cool. Alright, now we got a pretty big cutscene skip here. Actually, Radiator, can you explain this?
Yeah, right. So, we counter here first, and then after the counter, we start a beatdown. The final part of the beatdown is a finisher move that Batman tries to do. We cancel the animation of that, cape stun Raish, and then throw a bunch of batarangs at him, which skips a cutscene where he holds Talia with a knife and basically threatens to kill her if he doesn't lead the League of Assassins. And it also forces us to use the RC batarang, and since we have storage on said RC batarang, we kind of don't want that cutscene to happen. And then we're just gonna zip out of here and go back out.
Yeah, since we came in here the unintended way, we also have to leave the unintended way, so that's what that storage is for. Then, whenever we do this like double out of bounds thing, where we're like in and out of bounds area and go like through a door that's only sort of half loaded, the game gets very confused, so we have to reload checkpoint. So on the old route, we could just leave through this door, no problem, but there is a ceiling here we need to blow up, so we're gonna try something a little sneaky. And we land not like that. Let's try that again. There we go, land on this thing, and then just place gel from a distance somehow. Cool. That trick is really weird and I don't like it, but like second try effectively is not the worst thing that can happen there. Alright, so this is the processing center. This is actually where we started the game, but everything's kind of broken because you're not really supposed to be here. So we can just casually leave through the wall that doesn't exist. Then there's a load trigger over here we can hit, so we just gotta grapple this, and we can just swing around here. And here is Quincy Sharp. He's actually the mayor of Gotham. He's in a little bit of trouble here, so we're gonna help him out, even though he probably doesn't deserve it. He's kind of a terrible person, as you learn in the last game, when he is the warden of Arkham Asylum. But we'll still help him out anyway. Alright, so now we're gonna make our way over to Freeze, see if he's figured anything out about this whole cure thing. And then we get the Freeze boss fight, which is still probably one of my favorite parts of this game. Definitely the best boss fight in the game. Basically, every time you do an attack on him, he knows to avoid it and sort of adapts to it. So, and like if you just try to attack him head on, he'll destroy you. So you have to be kind of sneaky and do a bunch of different kinds of attacks. It's a pretty cool concept. On easy though, we can kind of destroy him without even trying because you only have to do 4 attacks on him. So first thing we're gonna do is use the disruptor, so we'll just get that ready. So stop him from being able to shoot us. Now he knows to not get disrupted, I guess. So that doesn't work anymore. So now we're gonna try something different. He's kind of dumb and very predictable, so if you know what you're doing, you can like really cheese this. Line launcher. Then there's a wall there we can blow up. This looks like it shouldn't work, but this wall has like killer range. Almost blew that up too early. Right, and he's on this water. You'll notice there are like live wires sitting in the water. I wonder what this button does. Oh, that's convenient. And that's how you annihilate freeze in like a minute. In case anyone was wondering.
Definitely the way that Batman would do it.
Of course. Alright, so coming up now we have the new skip, which is Steel Mill 2 skip. First we gotta get out of GCPD. So when I leave here, there's like a little cutscene that's supposed to play with a helicopter. We don't really care about that, so we're just gonna... We have to wait for the game to save before we can force the game to save again. While we're doing that, I'm just gonna buy the Tightrope Upgrade, so we're gonna use that. Usually use the timer for reference here, so I'll just play it super safe. So we force the game to save, and then when we reload, we'll be somewhere else. So then we just kind of avoid the cutscene entirely. Alright, so now we're going to set up a zip here. Yeah, so like Vicky Vale is like in danger over there, I guess. I don't know. That's not really my problem. So we're just going to leave her to it. I don't know why I have detective mode on. So this gets us to the industrial district pretty quickly. Grab this for something that I probably won't need, but good for a backup strat. So we want to get out of bounds inside the steel mill. So all you got to do for that is just poke right through here. Cool. Actually got the sick glide too. That's very nice. So you'll notice there's a door there. You know what? I wonder what happens if you were to tightrope near the door. Maybe the game would like let you open it or something. I totally did this wrong, but maybe it'll still work. Come on. Alright, I could do the backup. I refuse to explain how this works. Oh, alright. Do the, we'll try it again. This is like a brand new skip, like we found it a couple weeks ago, so still kind of ironing out how to do it. I think I just wasn't close enough to the door for the backup to work. These guys can see you, but they can't really do anything about it. They can try. Whoop. Alright. Hard to get the sick glide every time. Make our way back over here, try it again. A little slower this time. Oh, come on. Ah, alright. Oh, this is pretty much the worst thing that can happen. Because you're kind of like stuck in here, but you really don't want to be stuck in here. I'll try the close side of the door. We used to do the close side, but like 2 days ago I realized we could do the far side and it was a little faster, but evidently needs a little more practice. Alright. Why is that not working? This might still take a couple more tries, unfortunately. I guess we can read some donations while I try to figure this out.
And I have a $52 donation here from username Niels that says, do those League of Assassins guards just stand there all day holding their swords up?
Pretty much, yeah.
They were trained well.
This trick's kind of annoying because, as you can see, if you ever fall into the water, you just have to like come out of bounds again and try it again. If you realize it's not going to work, you can recover it a little faster, but usually don't realize it's not going to work until it doesn't work. Okay, this looks a little better. There we go. So yeah, it just lets you like stand up on the tightrope, and then you can go through the door. And that conveniently lets you skip the entirety of the steel mill, and we're right into the funhouse brawl. So we're just gonna beat up Joker here because he's kind of helpless, honestly. Yeah, like he already gave up. Easy fight. On to the next one. But actually, he has like a lot of thugs, so I'll come in on these cute little train things. So try to do a multi-ground takedown here. I didn't get this guy, but that's okay. Try to maintain our combo here while these guys spawn in. Cool. Knock down Joker here. Place some explosive gel on the ground while we wait. We place it manually so it does more damage. I have punch bound to mouse wheel so we can kind of wreck this guy. And now we blow up our explosive gel. Got most of the people with the multi-ground. Alright, not a perfect funhouse brawl, but definitely good enough. Alright, now we'll take out this Titan. If you take out the Titan while there's still guys standing up, you'll like ride them. Oh yeah, and just like we can do ground takedown cancels, you can cancel the animation of riding a Titan. Then let's deal with this Joker. Okay, so remember when I said that like this was totally a great idea to have the prison like this, and there definitely were not any problems? Well, turns out I was wrong. There are some problems. We gotta go talk to Hugo about this, see if we can get this sorted out. So the fastest way to get over there is to do a zip, like so. This is really low. Okay, everything's still loaded. It's like the sketchiest run I've done in a while. We're going to do Protocol 10 skip. You're definitely going to need to explain this.
Yeah, alright. So, once again, we're canceling a door without walking through it. At the same time, or directly after we cancel the door, we get standing storage and really quickly switch to the Batarang, which we already got storage on just earlier when he jumped into the window there. And that lets us do freeze nade climbs. And this is basically how we skip the entirety of Wonder Tower. And we don't have to do the Predator, we don't need any codes from helicopters that you normally scan in casual gameplay. So we definitely utilize this quite a lot here, and we do it all the way up to the top, where we have to do a specific amount of freeze nade climbs to make sure that the top loads in. If it doesn't load in, then yeah, you might as well just reload checkpoint and hope for the best. The specific amount of freeze nades that you need here are 58. Very specific. You could do a couple more if you want to, if you're not really feeling sure. And yeah, it definitely just shows that Batman has an infinite supply of freeze nades and pretty much everything in his utility belt. So you could also alternatively wait until you see 8 grapple points up here, and just like that, you grapple up, and then you drop down into the elevator shaft, which makes Batman grapple up.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Now I can look up here and I can see the tower's loaded. There's lights, there's gargoyles, everything looks good. So now we just gotta make our way up there. Before we can do that, we gotta hit a little trigger here. Once you see that missile detected thing, you're free to go. Oop, almost messed that up. This should be fine. Yeah. Alright, so if you go up through the tower normally, the game behaves normally. I know that's a big surprise. Specifically, the thugs in this Predator room behave normally, but if you do what I just did, they are completely deaf and blind, so you are free to just take them out as quickly as possible, and no one will really know or care. So we're just gonna knockout smash these guys, those guys don't really matter because you're waiting for the cycle on these two guys up here. So we're gonna Batclaw that guy and that guy. Perfect. Then ideally, last guy comes here, and we just punch him in the face. They're like completely helpless. And here's Hugo. We just gotta find Hero and Gotham. There we go. So we're just like, he's just telling us that everything's under control, and you know, we definitely believe that. Batman, however, is not convinced. So, just taking care of business there. So, like, they talk a little bit. One thing leads to another. Ra's al Ghul is now dead, and the tower exploded. What happened? I don't know. Just go with it. Now we have another unskippable cutscene just before the end of the game, so more donations and announcements and stuff.
I'll take a moment here and remind everyone of the amazing bid wars we have, especially for Resident Evil 3 Nemesis Any Percent, which is coming up just after the next run, which is Titanfall 2. You can pick the costume choice, which you can pick between Regina, Default, and Classic, and currently Classic's in the lead at $300, Regina's at $114, and Default's getting no love at $0. So that's coming up soon. You should all get your donations in as soon as possible.
Default never gets any love. So Joker has kidnapped Talia. I don't really know how that happened, but I guess we gotta go deal with that now. So he's gonna have a bunch of snipers hanging out outside Monarch Theater, which is where he wants us to meet him. I don't know why he put a bunch of snipers out when he wants us to, like, you know, get there, but whatever. It's not a big deal. We're going to buy this Batclaw Disarm Upgrade. Lets us rip guns out of people's hands, which is going to be very useful here. We just got to make our way over here, ideally without getting spotted. We're all pretty focused on the theater itself, which gives us the perfect opportunity to land right here and just yank all their guns away. 4 of them done out of I don't even know how many. One. Okay, they saw me, but it doesn't matter because we can just wreck them, and we're on easy, so it's pretty hard to die here. Take this one. This guy will actually take out the ground takedown cancel, and then we'll just drop down here, finish off these two guys. More ground takedown cancels. Pretty good snipers overall. Alright, now we got the final boss of the game, Joker. Just kidding, actually it's Clayface. If you're not familiar with Clayface, his power is that he can pretend to be other people. So, like, I guess he was pretending to be Joker or something, but, like, only some of the time. I don't know, it's kind of confusing. We're going to place gel on the ground here, so that when he jumps over here, we can blow up these bombs that are conveniently placed in the corners of the room. But he will also roll into them on his own, so we're just deliberately taking these hits so that he gets through his attack animations faster. Cool. And then we'll wait for him to start his attack so that it doesn't happen in the next phase. Place our gel. Fun fact, Batman is an expert sword fighter. Little known. He is trained in every combat form, so I guess it makes sense, but you know, you don't typically see Batman wielding a sword. Maybe we're gonna try to stand right at the gel so he jumps in the right spot. Cool. It's pretty much all the risk taken out of here. Sometimes when you blow up that bomb, he gets a little confused. It's kind of like clipping in and out of the ground here. Alright, Clayface is frozen again, and we'll get another chance to show off our sword mastery. As well as just his ability to jump really high up into the air. It's very incredible. Alright, so in this last phase of the boss fight, what's going to happen is he's going to be like hiding in the ground. He's going to like send out a bunch of clay minion things to kill us. It's not going to work. We're going to take out all the minions, and then he's going to pop out of the ground and try to shoot clay at us. Leave himself vulnerable. You chuck a freeze grenade into his mouth. do that 4 times and you win. Doing it 4 times is slow though, so we're actually only going to do it 3 times. Pretty close call right there. Sword is inches away from Batman's head. I think this game could have been so much shorter. If hit sub 1 like a year ago. If only. Alright, so as you can see, clay minions. I think the game actually calls them drones internally, but like, you know what they are. So we're gonna throw a bunch at him right now. Okay, should be enough, so now we'll take out all the drones. We'll hide in this corner because there's an invisible wall that protects us. It gives us perfect opportunity to just chuck freeze grenades at them. And if we do that just right, we will only do 3 phases instead of 4. And aptly, this is named Phase Skip. That was a pretty good cycle. They're like, when they're all standing right beside each other, you can hit multiple of them at the same time with the sword, so that's just perfect. Alright, time's coming up here. We're gonna jump into Clayface's mouth and end it all. Alright, and time. Cool, so this game's pretty cool. If you're looking for new games to speedrun or watch speedruns of, highly recommend it. A lot of cool categories, including this one, but also other categories as well. If you're interested in seeing more runs or learning more about the game or anything, as usual, check out the game on speedrun.com/Arkham City. We've got a Discord server, we've got guides for most stuff. Lots of helpful people in the community. And yeah, anything you want to say, right, Adrian?
No, not really. Just, if you're interested, make sure to check out the Discord and the speedrun.com leaderboards.
Alright, then I guess that's it for us.